Go. Oh, okay, now it works. There it goes. Wow, I caught up with myself. Okay, what's up, Smobos? Welcome to SGA Live. Clearly, it's one of those kinds of days where there's a lot happening, and we're gonna have a rotation of Smosh humans in and out of the room because we've been so busy, and this is a time to bond with you. So, in the meantime, to get us started, hello, I'm Flitz. I may or may not be your mentor. I do like hugs, so hugs. Shout outs to Two-A-Day Maxi, Rebellion Zero, Kelvin Torres, Roman Gaming, Catalin Regans, Rosa Ochoa, that's a great name, Caitlin Marsh, the Nintendo Gamer Pro, Stephanie Philpau, Stephen Philpau, I will always say your name wrong. Nisareth, of course, Rena Ali, the Dragon King 564, Erin Cerne, Ellen Hoek, hello. Nice to see you all. It's Quinn Malik, Rosin. I'm lost. You guys, you and your typing with your one words. Okay, so there is a lot of things. There aren't a lot of things to talk about, actually. That's just kind of the way things work. When it comes to internet. Super Smash Bros. Is playing itself. So, in video game news, I'm excited about this video game news because any of you who have been watching, and this is from Polygon.com, any of you who have been watching this show, I like to keep track of technical trends and what's going on and a lot of like, I told you so. And I just love, I love video games, so I have to be paying attention to it, right, effectively. But Polygon.com, Phil Spencer is obliterating the distinction between Xbox and PC, and he's just getting started. So that meaning, basically, as a lot of you know, Windows 10 came out, and they released it for free. Nolan Albalos, I'm pretty sure I said your name before, but there you go. Notice, good job. I won't be doing that again. And then the talks of working on streaming your PC games to your Xbox One, really it's all, and the fact that everything, especially if you've downloaded Windows 10, and I don't know if you have, some of you may not have PCs, I understand the life, but you can patch, on the operating system alone, you can patch your phone/iPad and your Xbox One and even your all of this through your computer, and a lot of it is wireless. So I think that's just amazing. The whole bringing it to the forefront that, listen, it's all pretty much the same. Your cell phones are these amazing machines that you may pay without a contract $600 for, but there's like $9,000 worth of apps and potential coming with your phone. And then with the Xbox being, or even with PlayStation, being able to patch your TV through these things, and the Xbox working as a cable box, and then PlayStation working on people paying for individual networks. And Joven has an amazing theory about what he believes that the path that will go on his YouTube channel. So if you want to check out the Joven Shire's YouTube channel, where we're actually working on another show with us that will actually cover different aspects of the industry. So that's a thing. He'll probably talk about it more. For Yuki Nakoto, this is a random question. Asks, do you know any diabetics? Yes. I don't. So yeah, I'm excited because I don't think to put this into perspective of my excitement and why I'm so excited about it is because looking at how technology has advanced and how amazing it is and how we are growing as a species as it grows and we develop and we learn how to utilize these things from here to moving into artificial intelligence. It's amazing how far within my lifetime coming up a Nintendo kid and even knowing what an Atari 2600 is and what a Vestrak is. And these systems were exclusively consoles. They didn't do anything else but play video games. and then the PlayStation coming in, and then other formats of technology coming in, and I understand where the console war may have played its part, but up to this point, everything seems to be wanting to come to a point of peace and unity, and I think that's just freaking. I just think that's freaking super dope. So what I'm gonna do is, this is not a thing that we also don't do a whole lot. I am going to do my best because we do have questions from you, the community. But for this section, I am going to do my best to and as you motherfuckers, sorry, catch up. I'm gonna need you to understand that if you're posting a whole lot of stuff, I won't be able to get to see whole questions, or I might miss your question. So if you're going to put words into it, have it mean something. If you're going to post something, but if you're just going to, hey, say my name. I'm not going to say your name. Have something, really good in question. So this question comes from Rosalind Fowle. And Rosalind Fowle, I believe, because it's going to be, and don't repeat your questions and spam your questions either, because I'll ask, do you believe you are a main part of Smosh Games? And I'm pretty sure I read that question right. And I don't exactly know what that question means, but I'm going to say every part of Smosh Games is a main part of Smosh Games. As much as you all really do love Ian and Anthony, and I don't blame you, they're incredibly busy, and they're also, and I think this is something we've gone over, we're building, it's a family built, it's a family of friends being built. So I am a main part of Smosh, I'm a main part of Smosh Games, Smosh, we're all a main part of it. Even the people who you really may never ever see behind the scenes, working their asses off and sweating and trying to get, us moving forward, they are a main part of Smosh Games. Everybody's role is important, and once you realize that, as a viewer, you start to understand and appreciate it for what it is and not for what you expect it to be. And I think that is the biggest hurdle humans in general have. I have a whole fun theory about humans and how we're addicted to our memories and how that keeps us from being able to experience new things for what they are and not for what we expect them to be. And that's it in its simplest form. It's pretty actually kind of crazy how the brain works in terms of that. No, do you enjoy Minecraft? Here's a fun question, and I didn't get to see who that was from, but here's a fun piece of information. Before I started playing Minecraft on Minecraft, I hated Minecraft. It wasn't my game. I mean, I don't like go home and like, oh, I can't wait to build a house. Like, it's not like, I don't play it on my free time personally, but when we do Minecraft, I play and I enjoy it immensely. Kelly Smith says you're black and I'm brown, you're blind. But thanks. And if I get lost in questions, if you never were a part of Smosh, this is from Caitlin Riggins. If you were never a part of Smosh, what will you be doing right now? And I read that because I can actually see it. But also, there's another question. I will do my best to remember your question. But as far as if I weren't, I'd be either a comic book artist, or I would still be a professional dancer, or I would have found some other way to be entertaining people, potentially a veterinarian. Those are like my passions. I really, really wanted to be a comic book artist. And then I feel like I forgot what the other question was, but I tried. I really tried. I like that. Y'all like the hat? Is the hat cool? Could you imagine yourself sometime before? Could you imagine yourself there before, some years before in Minecraft? I don't know what that question means. This comes from Smock Cookie Game, and the question is, what is one place you would like to visit in your life? And that one place, I mean, there's tons of places, and as I learn more about the world, those places grow even more so. And I honestly would say for the longest time in my life, I've always wanted to go to Japan. I have a a great appreciation for the Japanese culture and how different it is from so much of Western culture. Now it's been very westernized. That's like the reason why Japanese people wear underwear, like that was Americans. That's also a part of the westernization of Japan, is also why some of them work themselves so hard, damn near to death, and they never see home, because the business idea for the Western culture was you need to work very, 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 very hard to be successful and provide for your family. Japanese people adopted it, and as Japanese people do things to utmost extremes and get really good at them, they work very hard and they're doing amazing things. Who's my favorite doctor? Wow. For any of you who don't know, that's a Doctor Who reference. Who's my favorite doctor from Doctor Who? I do really like the new Doctor, but I can't do favorites, man. I love the show, and I like the Doctor for who he is and what he stands for, and I think that's super duper important. Jeremy Torres, yes, thank you. The question from Jeremy Torres was, which one is my favorite crystal gem? That's a fun question, I burped. That's a fun question because it's probably between Amethyst, because she's very carefree and she's really doing her best to improve and be good. But she's flawed, and she knows she's flawed, and she's trying to better herself. And this is the thing I can relate to. I think this is the thing that any human can relate to. She's flawed, she knows she's flawed, and she's doing her best to be her best. I mean, I could say Garnet, because Garnet is ultimate love, and if you haven't started watching Steven Universe, or you don't know what it is, maybe you should get some imagination in your life, because cartoons are awesome and magic is fun. The mashup man, I answered this question a while ago in Why We're Single, and the question was, if you were a superhero, if you could have one power essentially, or something along those lines, what would it be? My power would be telekinesis, I believe, but I could be wrong, because I do also love energy and a transmutation of it. So I think that's pretty cool. So maybe energy manipulation or mind manipulation, but I would only use it for good. Because I wouldn't. I say I can't do mind. I'm all about freedom. So if I'm manipulating your mind, no, you have to make the choice. So I can't have force over that. So energy manipulation. There you go. You want to be a paleontologist? What is my favorite prehistoric animal? And that's from Philip Mercurio. Flitz, I want to be a paleontologist. So what is your favorite prehistoric animal? Man is my favorite prehistoric animal. There is so much we don't know about ourselves as a species that we have discovered and forgotten due to wars and fighting and us separating and building up these giant cultural egos, and only to clash them against each other. And we've burned down amazing libraries at places that were central points for information and knowledge. Yet we still managed to come this high, to the point where we can get off of our rock and explore out of space and learn to continue to be good to each other. And that is a thing that man does. My favorite animal that I don't know is, if it is as conscious as we are as humans, are dolphins. So if I had to choose an animal, and as you can see, I don't separate man from animal. We're animals. We're in nature. We exist in nature. So we're animals too. We're just at a higher point in our evolution, and we've slowed down a lot, but we're speeding back up, so that's cool. The Never-Ending Gamer said, God damn it, Flitz, why do you do this? And the reason why I do this is because I aspire to inspire. If you follow me on Instagram, you see my posts. My posts are meant to, I greatly dislike my personal limitations, and I understand through disliking my personal limitations. I don't like limitations really without reason, without sound good reason, but I don't like my personal limitations, and I realize how much I limit myself, not even because I want to most of the time, but because I feel like I have to, because it's a thing. So getting people to think outside of the box is a big part of why I do why I communicate with you, because a lot of things that I may say, I realize, especially growing up, and I like a lot of things that I say, or the way that I may say things, I realize you may probably never hear these things from anyone else. So I literally do this to break your mind. The Fighting Fruit asks, what is your favorite gaming series? And I would have to say it's Mass Effect. It used to be Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed, and they were running parallel. But Assassin's Creed started chugging out too many, and it got sloppy. And that is a problem because the quantity outweighed the quality of the game. The quantity outweighed the beautiful potential for teaching history and expanding people's mind, making connections between the past and the future. They got away from that, I feel, and it became much more about the franchise, not about the experience. So, yeah, Flitz Philosophy Hour. Yeah, philosophy. When do I do my about my recording stuff if it stops working? I don't Google it. I'm not Google. What video game guy would you go gay for? And that's from Bob Star Forever, who has a koala as a picture. I wouldn't. I'm not really into dudes. You know what's really fun? This is what I do, and I was explaining this recently. I do this, and this is a question that was asked, I think, on Instagram, because on my Instagram, one of the things I say is ponder the universe. And the question was, how often do you ponder the universe? And if I am thinking, if I am quiet, if I have time to be to myself, and I find those times, I'm pondering the universe. So that being said, what character would I go gay for? I wouldn't, because what I do with a lot of the times, what I do with my mind is I put myself in very uncomfortable situations, or I put myself in situations that then I go through as many as I can imagine, every last single potential outcome for that situation, and I handle it in my mind. Now, there is a difference between actually experiencing it and imagining it. But just like if a person who is a dancer watches a video of people dancing, he starts to shift his muscles because he can relate to the way the dancer is dancing. He starts to learn. It becomes a part of his muscle memory, and the more he exercises it externally, the more it actually becomes reality. It's the same with fighters. If you're a martial artist and you watch MMA, or if you watch any fighting style, as you're watching it, you'll realize the more you are in tune with the movement as you've trained it, that you start figuring out how to put yourself through the different situation and what you would do. And the more you do that, the more control you start to exercise over your mind in a situation. Now, yes, there's a big difference between seeing a lion in the zoo from afar and then seeing a lion running at you. But if you put yourself in a mindset where you say, okay, I'm going to imagine that dog, and it may not happen. You have to understand that this is a choice. You say, I'm gonna imagine a dog is chasing me right now. It doesn't mean run down the street screaming. It's like, okay, what are all the things I could do in this immediate moment? Do I run, climb that tree? Do I turn around, take on a dog, wait, let him grab my arm and try to poke his eye out? Do I turn around and scream? And if that doesn't work, maybe let him jump at me. And if I have the right freaking reflexes, grab his top and bottom jaw and pull him apart as far as I can until his head snaps in half. That's the extreme, but the point is putting yourself through different situations in your mind before, or just in case you may have to deal with it in real life. A thing that we do that, and a thing that I embrace this as video games, utilizing video games as tools, is we do that in video games. When I love Destiny, so when I'm playing Destiny, I'm like, okay, I'm about to play Destiny. I know I'm kind of bad at aiming, and I know sometimes I get a pretty bad score when I'm teamed up with other people, but let me take myself and put myself in this alien world and be the space wizard I would love to be and get better at aiming, because I realize having control over these awesome thumbs that I freaking evolved through great will of evolution, that is tweaking the power of your abilities. Also, the fact that you're working with like 16 buttons and you're like click, 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 and everything's freaking fine. That's awesome. So, that was fun to answer. I think Yuki is obsessed with Flitz, or at least likes him. You're allowed to like me, but you have to be legal. The next question is, kill it with blood and gore. That's from Sebi Station. That's not a question. Okay. Lamer Harhara says, and this is fun. This isn't even a question. Says Destiny sucks. I'm sorry you feel that way, but your opinion isn't fact because there are people who believe Destiny does not suck. It's preferential, really, ultimately. So you can say Destiny sucks, but that's only you screaming to yourself and maybe a room full of people who might agree with you, but that doesn't make that room full of people right because there are tons of people who say, I love Destiny. So maybe broaden your horizons and not judge so much. Thanks. Okay, so who is this question from? Oh, so today, because we've been really busy, I told you to send in questions, and any of you who have watched this probably already knew to send in questions. But the first question I'm going to ask comes from Passive Steve. Passive Steve likes to ask questions, and I believe that's Steven Felpow, right? Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he likes to correct me on Twitter about his name and how to say it. And the question is, first of all, how are you going, guys? Because I'm imagining this is how he sounds. Actually, he should be passive, right? Yeah. He should be passive. First of all, how are you going, guys? Because he's passive. Secondly, let's talk about thoughts, predictions on the future of traditional media. This links off from the discussion topic above. Thoughts on how traditional media can survive during this change in the media world? I reckon, good phrasing, we need just reboots of successful TV shows. No, we don't need reboots of successful TV shows. We need original ideas. I mean, everything is based around a formula. So, and most of it's based around some sort of normal story formula, and a lot of it is very hero's journey. The Cave, if you look up the philosophy on a cave or a hero's journey, you'll understand exactly. As it is a part of our existence as humans, we go through our own hero's journey as we discover ourselves and discover our purpose as we live. I read a lot. As far as the future, how media, so he's here. Hey. As far as how media needs to survive, it's really, think about what is happening in electronics in general, look at your car. Think about it. Observe it. If you will allow me for a moment, power over your imagination.
I won't allow you.
Think about
Moving
this.
on.
Think about computers.
No, I've said that I won't allow you.
Not you personally. You, the world. So you can
okay,
just.
Got it. Yeah.
Think about
I have no power here.
Think about Phil Spencer and what he's saying about blurring the lines between the PC and the console.
Is that the guy that made that song with the naked ladies?
Phil Spencer?
Blurred lines.
Blur line. Bird lines.
What is this?
That's what needs to be done. You can't. We exist in an age where everything is merging together because it's understanding things aren't so mutually exclusive, right? So for old media to survive, it needs to learn to merge what is the new hotness, the thing that is taking great advantage of the exponential growth. If your PC and console...
I'll be right back.
Oh, that's okay. You gonna poop?
No, we just had to do a thing. We just had to do a thing for Game Bang where we had to touch a bunch of gross stuff, and my hand smells awful. I'll be right back. It's not what you think.
Does it smell like?
It's probably what you think. Yeah.
It's exactly what you think.
What do you think?
So, old media, I guess you could say, current traditional media versus new media. There's no versus. It just needs to marry. And once that happens, they'll find a path to success. But a lot of big money have a lot to lose by that happening. So it's a matter of the old guards, as I really, really like calling them, stepping out of the way and taking their piles of money they already have and either reinvesting it in the next level or the next phase of entertainment as we know it, or just stepping down and getting out of the way and dying with their buckets of money and letting the people who want to continue to make the connections with you because it is you who allow us to do what we do and figure out how to work it in so that it is together. The same way cell phones and computers and consoles even now being involved in it are becoming one and working together. They have to learn how to work together. And I already think, and that's, as Joven has a theory as well, believe that's already where it's going. And if that's not where it's going, the beautiful thing about knowledge is, especially if you're in the right position in the right space, if you think that makes perfect sense and you can strategize so that you can make it happen, freaking do it. Break the mold.
Do it.
And that's what I was saying. Get out of the box. Think outside of the box. That's why I do it. I love getting people outside of their own way, if I can.
Yes,
but
he
that
does.
you have to make the choice to get out of your own way. So
Wise.
just come back like, wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I tell you.
If I no. Well,
To
and that's
do
I feel that's
good
what
things.
if that's what because I'm reading a book about like philosophical masters essentially.
If you put water into a teapot, it
It
becomes
becomes
a teapot.
If you put water to a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Now, water may crash or
No, water can flow,
Flow
or it can
or
crash.
crash.
Yeah. Be water, my,
My
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
What are you? What is that from?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce
That's a
Lee,
quote.
mofo.
Yeah. Yeah, he was smart as all the Wiccans. I don't know
All
what
the
that means.
Wiccans?
The next question comes from Nisa Reth, who
Nisa.
gets killed by Westeroth. It's funny. First, congrats on the Streamy nomination. So if you didn't
thank
know, we're
you.
nominated
Oh,
for
thank you.
Streamy. Thank you, Nisa.
Thank you, Nisa. You're a
And leading
sweetheart.
from that, touching base to what Steven said, great minds think alike with the Streamies now being televised this year.
Are you talking about Stephen Failapoo?
So, yes, Philippi.
He's-
Fail pal.
Failapoo. I emphasize the
Failapoo.
fail. Keepo, Keeperino, Cappuccino.
With the Streamies now being televised this year, do you see this as a big step for digital media and its future? Yes. Yes, I do. But that's exactly with what I just said. And if you take how everything is trying to merge into one, because we have this, thanks to the age of internet, we have this amazing.
I wish I could see the chat. Can we see the chat? I don't know what Steven's saying.
Thanks to this amazing sense of
There we go.
of togetherness and oneness we seem to be getting from these connections we
Yeah.
have in the many forms over the internet. And it's really fun because I took a Lyft to work this morning. If you don't know what Lyft is, it's a car service, it's share culture where you use your phone and you hit request a Lyft, and people who live around may live near you. They may literally just be home. They hear their phone go off and they're like, "Oh, I gotta go pick up this guy." and
I
take
will
him
wreck you,
somewhere."
mate.
Like that's real life. So
Get wrecked, bro.
in us realizing,
I just wanted to see what he said. Bring it back.
in us realizing how large the world is, but mentally the world has become smaller thanks to the internet. I compared it to a worldwide meditation because I'm a hippie and I probably don't wear underwear. But
Well, you don't. We know
I
this.
compared.
Actually, that's a lie. We know that he does
Yeah.
because he likes to match his underwear.
I do like to match my underwear. I'm wearing Red Boys right now. I forgot what I was saying. But I had this fun conversation with the Lyft driver, and it made it make sense to me because the internet is us going internal to discover ourselves, and we're learning to.
That's
better-
why it's not called the outer net.
Yeah, exactly. It's the internet. When you meditate, you're meant to sit alone, right? I mean, I
came up
meditate
with
in
that.
motion, but
Wait, put me
if
back
you
on
were
though,
to-
because I just want to. I'm pointing at myself. I said that. That was some,
When you meditate, you go inside
Okay, now back to him. Yeah.
discover
Good job.
who
You're doing
you
it.
may be as an individual. What we're doing as a species, we're figuring out what the heck it means to be human through our internet meditation. We're making greater connections. People, not that long ago, they'd sit at home and they'd be like, man, I really do like watching animals have sex in the wild.
All right.
No, this is the world.
Take me there, Flitz.
This is the world. I'm taking it there
Take me
because
there.
this is.
No, take me there.
Oh, take you there.
I want you to finish your thought.
He felt very alone. He or she, because let's not freaking discriminate. He or she felt very, very alone, and they felt like they couldn't tell anybody. And all they really like doing, they just like watching. They're furry voyeurs. they just like watching animals.
But don't be a furry voyeur.
But I mean, be what you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or infringing on anyone else's freedoms.
Yeah, you know what? That's true.
But
Smash.
after the age of the internet, and as the internet grew, and as awareness, as the internet became the norm, instead of him sitting in his house, watching alone and going crazy, he
Just
was
creating
he
ectoplasm
found
to Brazilian fart
There
porn.
are websites.
What?
I don't know.
There are websites where you can go and you can meet like-minded people, and people realizing maybe I'm not weird. Maybe this is normal in some capacity. Now, whether they decide to get it fixed, that's up to them. But that's what we're learning about the world, and we're better learning what it means to be human because we're connecting to humans that we had no idea we'd ever even connect with. There are people who I'm sure never saw a person of any sort of color or seen or heard any other dialect. And then they go on the internet and they may wander into this weird place and they're like, this is curious, this is fun, this is weird, I'm curious about it. And then the ultimate thing is explore the internet, and then once you realize what you like, get the hell out of the house and explore the damn world. You've explored the small aspect of it. You prepared your mind, as I explained, especially with video games, you prepared your mind to deal with the situation. You've learned, you figured it out. Now take your ass and go outside, get a passport.
You should take the
and
rest of
explore
you
the
too.
world. You should take the rest
Not
of you too.
just your ass.
recommend staying where everyone speaks the same language. It is safer and less scary.
Well, let me say this. It is beautiful advice that you should get out of your comfort zone.
Cake.
But there are varying levels of comfort
Oh,
zones.
of course.
Thank you.
Some people, it's adventurous for them just to go outside of the house. Some people, it's adventurous for them to say hello to a new person.
No, it is.
You know.
But that's
So
that all.
what
falls
I'm
under that.
saying is, you shouldn't feel bad. Oh wait,
Oh,
I'm
no.
gaming watching. You shouldn't feel bad if you feel as though like, oh, other people are exploring so much more than me. It's like, no,
No,
what?
take your time.
Yeah, do
But
what's
do
right
the
for
damn
you.
thing. Like, don't just sit there and be. This
Unless
is
you
Olivia's
wanna
speaking.
sit there.
Unless you want to sit there.
Do
But
what's
I
right
don't
for you.
recommend it.
I get a lot of anxiety from traveling. There's things you can do. Work on yourself here.
Don't let Joven like hold you back. He's driven across like Europe. He's been Australia.
Reluctantly.
Yeah, but you've driven across
bitterly.
Europe.
Bitter?
But
Why
you
bitter?
still got to experience like what you do and don't like. You're learning about the world. I think that's awesome as well.
Go play. I want to play too.
Go to the play.
gonna
I want
finish-
to
we're
use
gonna
your
finish our
words.
campaign.
Go to the. I want to play.
Emily
too.
Jacob has a question for you,
gonna
Joven,
kill that
and the question is, Joven, are you, and that's the letter R, capital, letter U, still a bronze,
That's
all
kinda
capitals?
crazy.
No, platinum player.
Or
All
are
the
you
way.
platinum? You can't jump straight from bronze to platinum.
Yeah. Started at the bronze, now I'm platinum.
I mean,
Ask Drake, it's a thing.
That's not. That's from the bottom. Now you're here. You got to graduate to platinum.
Yeah.
You haven't gone through silver.
No, I
Oh.
passed through it.
I mean, you can
Easy
just
question. Next question.
you can just say that. Did we get him?
Next question.
Master and crazy.
This is funny because I don't know if Jon Snow Hinkie is adding to this or if, like these guys, if you guys, you didn't add anything. So did they plan this questioning like? Oh, it was in the forums. Oh, we got a forums, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know. Smosh Games Alliance. I should also probably remind you about this SGA challenge, which is play any fighting game you want. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to play it. Do a sketch. It is up on the 21st.
You should do the damn thing.
But you should do the damn thing if you haven't started. There is so much awesome at stake. This run. 5
Bacon.
lucky, not even
Bacon
lucky,
him.
5 talented,
Bacon
applying
him.
themselves SGA members will be getting Elgato
Baconing him.
HD60s,
Bacon and more.
courtesy of Elgato.
He can't
so
get
shout out to
past the
Elgato.
bacon.
Man, that burp smelled like salami.
Bacon.
Oh.
He's been baconed to death.
Bacon didn't.
But so it's literally just be entertaining, do something awesome, upload it to your channel with the hashtag SGA challenge. we're literally pretty much damn near giving these things away. You have to earn it, but after that, you don't got to do a damn thing, really. But you just gotta show up and perform, and then we got you, and then
That's what
you
she
get
said.
more after you win. So that's the.
Got
So
You got.
Also, we got
You
forums,
got.
and I've been in the forums and I pay attention. Building on Steve and Nisa's question about the future of traditional media and a possible takeover by digital, on-demand, non-linear type of media. This is Jovin's right? This is your wheelhouse. How would YouTube try to benefit from this evolution? How will YouTube, the YouTube community, YouTubers as well as viewers, evolve because of this? What kind of features could be added? I'm gonna say will be, but we don't know. Could be added to YouTube if or when it and other on-demand type of digital media become the main suppliers for media products worldwide. Your answer can be analytical if you have the inside information, but you guys could also give us your dream scenario for this, and that's from Lalzosaurus.
All right, so it's asking how video on demand is going to.
How new media, essentially, what features will YouTube or can, I will say could features could YouTube or the on-demand thing implement?
Well, YouTube is constantly evolving, like every 3 to 5 years. Now we saw a few years back, 3 years ago, actually, right before Smosh Games started, they were saying, "Hey, here's $100,000."
He's not talking.
Yeah, Wes isn't talking.
I'm talking this way. Oh, hey, buddy. Well, that was a little too.
Oh, wow, they're making out. Making out.
Are you taking it? Okay. I'm kind of doing it.
Are we even doing anything? What is this? It's just credits.
You'll be able to hear me through the middle of them. Oh yeah, that works too.
I killed you.
You killed me. What is that?
I'm
So
sorry.
YouTube evolves every 3 to 5 years into something different. 3 years ago, we saw YouTube look at all these different channels and say, "Here's $100,000. Create good content." They just want to go for quality. Like Geek and Sundry, I think Geek and Sundry and Nerdist, I think, are the only
Geek
two
and Sundry,
channels.
Nerdist, the Node,
Actually, Clever TV, under Defy Media also was
and
in
that
that.
was Node as well.
Node was in that?
Yeah. I believe
So there's a few channels that are still out there that got this YouTube money just to create good content.
Getting that YouTube
And
money.
YouTube has always just wanted to stay a step ahead of like, here's good content. Here's good quality video, good quality audio. That's why they created the YouTube space for YouTubers to be able to utilize, because they want the best quality content online. But then it's funny because then you have gaming channels who've just kind of like, not necessarily dumbed things down, but found very basic ways to be successful. And that's why they had to then take Minecraft out of the YouTube algorithm, and so that it wasn't always popping up on the front page, because when you have a new user show up to YouTube, a new user like those exist anymore. I want to see good content.
They're all here.
That's true. So what I think is next for YouTube is I think that they see what Netflix is doing and getting them Emmys. I think YouTube is getting jealous. I think YouTube now is going to start to create
YouTube be jelly.
shows and content to rival Netflix.
I feel like, and I
It's
feel
just
like
not the right move, because it's not. I like. There's no problem with them trying to add high quality content to YouTube, but they shouldn't try to be what they're not, which is a subscription video service
I
like
don't think they'll go to
YouTube.
that. I don't think they'll go to
hopefully
that.
they won't go to subscription. I feel like, because if in paying attention to the way our technology works, look at your cell phone.
You're on
you
Mega-
can
you're
get
on
so
something
many
too.
free apps, and for one reason or another, all these free
What's your
apps
name?
are doing amazing. That's demonetization. Figuring out how to give away your stuff for free, but still
Be able to monetize.
you
on
make
it.
tons of money. You
Which
know who does
YouTube
that?
does-
You know who does that amazingly? Red Bull. Red Bull is a marketing company who keeps the lights on by advertising this drink, but they do marketing. They sell the drink, but that's not their breadwinner, really.
Their
Like-
breadwinner is sending a guy up into space
Exactly.
to jump down from space. That shit happened.
Well, no, that's
Sorry
that's-
for
that's
swearing,
no,
but
no,
it
no, no.
happened.
That-
Did you see that it happened?
Yeah, no,
Space,
but the drinks
and
are
then he was
the
in her.
drinks are the breadwinner, but they can give away enough of the drinks because they release this content onto the world. If you go to a Red Bull event, more than likely you don't have to pay
Let me
for
just
the
say
Red Bull
this,
event.
but I'm not even gonna look at. I'm not even paying attention to the game. This is
Okay,
how
I'll
crazy
point
this
to
is. This man went Okay, he went to the height.
Oh, he did.
He went to the height in which you go past it and your blood boils if you're
Yeah. And
outside
he was
of
in
a
a suit.
spacecraft.
Yep.
And then he went 60,000 feet further than that. And then it was blackness around him, and he jumped from the
How long
heavens.
was that? It was like a 10-minute fall. How long
I
was the
I
fall?
cried.
Really?
I cried. I was so emotional, like
Really?
overwhelmed when I saw that man like go from a crazy death
Oh, from the
spin
tumble, and then he caught
and then he
himself?
caught himself,
Yeah.
and he gets to the ground. He's all pumped. I straight up cried. I was like, that was one of the most.
Like mankind did that.
That was like one of the
No,
most
yeah.
beautiful things I've ever watched in my
The
life.
first jump from
this
space.
man, this brave man, like, what the hell is he doing up there? But like, he's so brave for doing this crazy thing, pushing the limits of what's possible, and he survives. It was very emotional for me.
So what YouTube, I think they're going to do, I think they're already working on what they would have to do with the demonetization. They have so much talent on their platform, and they have access to each and every one of them. There's so many different kinds of talent. If they choose to, if Joven is right and they choose to, like, we're going to create original YouTube shows on the YouTube channel, and it'll be on YouTube for free, but if you want to watch it on TV, you need cable. Like, that is also a way you start to integrate.
If you pay attention to my YouTube channel,
I
you'll see
explained
that,
it earlier, but you can explain it too. No, explain it.
Oh, you had a bill. I believe that Sony and Apple are going to be stepping up the game that you won't need to have cable anymore because you'll be able to get a la carte cable channels. So watch for that this fall.
That's cable channels with meat. Squirrel Horse asks, what advice, and I feel like Wes could probably answer this as well. Squirrel Horse asks, what advice would you give to an actor pursuing a film career? My advice would be, because
Build a social media. Build up
social media. Yes, no, you're absolutely correct.
It really is.
That was honestly, so this is the advice that was given to me from the very incredibly nice Mark Ruffalo.
I just killed myself.
We all got to meet Mark Ruffalo recently, and we all had different chats with him. And my advice, because I moved to LA to act, that's legit why I moved to LA. But I fell into, as I am, being
He
an
met
entertainer.
me, and I was like, hey, come hang out with me.
Just come play video games. It's stupid. No, but asking Mark Ruffalo the piece of it for a piece of advice. His advice was, and especially in our position, and this is what you do as well, and this is why they say build a social media presence. He said, listen, you already got it. You already know it. You just have to put yourself out there. You have a presence. You have a following. You're still building your following. Tell people you want to be in their stuff. I mean, I've been in so many different Warp Zone sketches, and it was through being like, even hanging out with Warp Zone and be like, a joke could arise, and they're like, we're gonna do this joke. You wanna act in it? Yes, I wanna act in it. That is why I moved here. And then you do it well, and you continue to do it where you
What
can
you're
and
doing,
appreciate it.
if you weren't sure, is the damn thing.
I went to, in the last 3 months, I've been to 3 different auditions, and all 3 of them in the description said someone with a large social media following.
So that's what they're looking for. And honestly, going through all these questions, people were saying, what do traditional media have to do? How will things take over? It's really, we're observing it this way, where, I mean, the biggest, and this is another Ruffalo fact, like the biggest agency in like LA.
Agency?
Agency.
Mari.
Agency, Mari. Mari and Olivia, the biggest agency. They're trying to figure out how to get in the new media space. And those giant agencies have traditional media on lock, but they just can't seem to get their foot in the door with new media. And they're trying to figure it out. So if you build up an audience, and you could even do it on Smosh, or you have to figure out what your voice is and how you want to get yourself out there. Who are you as a person that people gravitate towards it?
As I explained in my video that I referenced a little bit earlier, I really do believe that small networks are going to need to start to go to YouTubers or people with a social following and cast them in their shows in order to sell their networks. So the goal shouldn't be moved to television. The goal should be to be so successful in the digital realm that you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yes, that's the goal. And but don't get greedy and make sure you're doing it because you want to do it, not because you just want to be rich. Like, be good. Money won't buy you happiness.
Totally.
Money can't buy me love.
And also, you can't sell happiness without penis. Ha! I like that. I think that's really fun. The next question.
I guess it's true.
Oh, actually,
Well,
man, this is
no,
okay. This is from the mashup,
You
man.
totally can. Do you know how happiness is spelled? Because there's no penis in it.
Wait.
No. Yeah, I mean you had it, but
H-A-P.
it shouldn't be something you have to think about because the
I-N-E-S-S.
spelling's not even close.
No.
To penis.
Is there a P? Yes. Is there an E? Yes. Is there an N?
Is there an this?
Yes. Is there an I? Yes. Is there an S? Yes. There's
No,
penis
but the word
hidden
penis, yeah,
in the word.
hidden in there.
The words to spell penis are in the word happiness.
The words to spell penis.
Penis.
Wait, no. The letters to spell penis are in the word happiness. I'm playing Smash and trying to
Penis.
count letters.
The next question comes from count letters. Then that made sense.
As long as you spell numbers.
The mashup man. This question comes from the mashup man, and he says this relates to what Joven addresses in his most recent video. If you guys were to go on a TV show, what TV show would it be? Or if you were to make a new TV show, what would it be?
My most recent video went up today. It's top 5 most messed up Disney princesses, we'll say.
Stop plugging.
Sorry.
He needs a plug.
In fact, if we're going to continue to plug, Flitz, congratulations. We just got officially confirmed that our first show comes out next Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it on your channel?
On my channel,
It's
yeah.
on me on Joven's channel. We have
Meow.
we have a show coming out
Was
called Unpopular Kids.
officially greenlit about an hour ago.
For those of you that don't know, that means that they can do it.
We can do
Hollywood
it.
speak.
We are allowed to. I don't know which show I would be on because I would want to be on something that I want to. I mean, I just would love to play like a superhero. I want to play a superhero.
Right?
There are.
Yeah, put me on a Netflix Marvel show.
Give me
Damn it.
in my own DC show.
DC.
Dude, I love DC.
And
Love
give
DC.
cast me as Black Lightning and watch me do work. And then I can run into Static
Watch me
Shock
work.
and all the different let's broaden the DC realm as they are broadening it, and let's get our own little BET like DC show, Black Lightning or Static Shock. What they're already making a movie.
Like
No,
that
we're
around
Jaden.
anymore?
So Jaden can have Static Shock movie. I'll take on Black Lightning the TV show, and then we're in like Flint, right?
I will say this.
Bye.
So people talk about like new media taking over, and I don't think so that's becoming the predominant it's just basically giving people more options, right? So when old media releases their stuff, when a TV show comes out, when a movie comes out, all of a sudden they're just having to think more about like, oh, what are the other ways, like, because before it was just like, oh, we get distribution in the movie theaters, and then eventually we release the DVD.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, should we do video on demand right away? Should we maybe wait a couple weeks, then do video on demand? Do we release it digitally on these websites at the same time? Or like, what's the timetable for when they do that? So, and I've always been, the reason I got into film was because as a kid, I just loved the magic of going to the movie theater and locking yourself away and putting yourself in that world and just enjoying the experience. So as big, I think, as new media is, and as much as it's changing the game, I don't think that's ever going to go away. That
No, it's never
feeling
gonna
of like,
go
oh,
away.
I really want to go to the theater.
It's going to meld. It's going to marry. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Everything's
Because
just like, I love you. I love you too. That's
As
what it
our
is.
main demographic is 13 to 17, in 5 years, those become the
The ones who
individuals
going
that
to
are
movie
spending the
theaters,
money.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so therefore we become more viable to movies or to brands. Is that?
Yeah, no, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
So like you'll see a combination of everything exist together.
Yes, exactly. It's the singularity. It's really fun. Which, you know, that's a ruffleism too. We shared in that. That was fun. When you're working together on a channel as a group, what's the best way to handle conflict between members? Ooh, and
That is a
something to add to.
fantastic question.
You know what?
The way to handle conflict between members is the same way that you handle conflict with any person. You talk about
Yeah,
it.
you have to talk.
Communication is key.
It's
You have an adult
yes.
conversation and things get fixed. And like look, we've argued about stuff before. We're good friends, but we're also locked in a room with each other every single day of the week.
Smelling each other.
For 3 years, we've been locked in the same room together, spending more time with each other than family or other friends.
Longer than 3.
Yeah.
Oh, has it been? Yeah, longer than 3.
Well, Smosh Games is 3 now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Longer
Yeah.
than 3 because
Yeah.
we go back like.
So
Wow.
So
My hand
what it
smells
comes
like
down to,
tuna.
like, yeah, sometimes we get mad at each other, but we talk about it, and then we're instantly not mad at each
Yeah,
other.
like we'll blow up at each other, and we'll have like little like we're communicating very loudly, but
Yes.
we're communicating, and then like right afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, who cares? We're friends.
And once you pass that,
I
you
landed
get
in that.
you didn't. So I
Oh, I'm dead.
I'm a big advocate for being very aware of your ego and understanding what is a threat and what is not a threat. Because if you don't know, your ego won't know. And because your ego is essentially your innate reaction to things that are dangerous, if it doesn't know, it's going to have this ridiculous reaction to something that's not even a big deal. So it's about being aware. It's about being aware
Sorry,
of,
that death on
of-
screen was-
of your thoughts. And then taking your judge and putting it aside because you don't know the full story, taking your victim and putting it aside because it's really essentially useless. Also, your judge will cause you to victimize yourself. Being aware of those elements of who you are and going,
I think
okay,
the most important element.
have a conversation about it.
The most
Learn,
im-
listen, communicate.
I think the most important element of communicating and understanding another person is to realize that they have motivations for everything they do, and they have motivations for everything they say, and you should always give them the benefit of the doubt in the most positive direction, and wait until you know, you can, maybe you suspect that it's not coming from a positive place or whatever, but you should give them the benefit of the doubt, because otherwise you're going to already be shutting down your communication,
And
even if you don't mean to. That's just how it's going to be. So you just need to always be open.
Yeah,
I guess
and
is
that's
the
hard
best
to
way
do. It's scary because you're vulnerable. And I mean, society has taught us to be afraid of being vulnerable, right? So
I've never.
that's the balance.
And
I just don't
I'm,
feel emotions.
I'm lucky in
Outside
that
of
I
rage.
feel like I was maybe taught this or whatever, but I've always been that way. I've always been open. I've always been wanting, like, I hate, my biggest pet peeve in life is miscommunication. So I always want to make myself known and make my intentions known and put everything out there. And some people, you know, sometimes some people take advantage of that or misinterpret it or take it a certain way, but ultimately I've just sort of made the decision that happening is a better case scenario than being misunderstood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the last question comes from Ginger Ninja 290, who could also probably go by Lady Rapidash because of her hair. It's fire. When you started out on YouTube,
Ow.
what did you use for equipment? I used
Sony Vegas.
I used the computer I had, and I had a little video camcorder, and I would set it up in front of my computer on top of like a box because I didn't have a tripod,
was
and
that?
I would just hit record, and I would just go. And I had ideas on my notepad. I don't even know I didn't think to use the TV screen. I mean, the computer screen I wrote. And I would sit on the edge of my bed, and I had a show, and it was called Choto's Show. That channel's still up. I might bring it back with a bunch of my friends, and we might just do random stuff. But yeah, I literally had a camera and an imagination, and then and a computer.
Did the car hit you?
You had my car? What'd you use? What'd y'all use first?
My first
No.
videos, you know what? Yeah, I think my first video I used like a handy cam from, in fact, I feel like I'm just using now at Smosh Games an upgraded same Canon handy cam that we used to shoot here. I had like the lower grade one that is 5 years old now, back in the day. Like that camera's still just good and useful.
It was, what do we use when we first started YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, my first thing I ever did at YouTube was at the place that shall not be named. Yeah. And those were just little handy cam type things, right?
We didn't even.
No, not even.
Oh, we had webcams.
No, we had webcams.
No, we didn't have those
Not
at the
at
very
first.
beginning.
What did we have at
it was,
first? I don't remember.
At the very beginning, it was just gameplay.
Oh yeah, you're
right.
right. We didn't have
didn't-
face cam.
Yeah, and then they started
We
making
used the Rock Band 2 mic for our VOs.
We'd take the USB
it was
mic.
so bad.
We would take we would record the
so
gameplay using this terrible
was
capture card
Audacity.
called Blackmagic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I still
And
have
then
one
we
on my
would
computer at
record
home.
Like,
VO in
old
Audacity with a Rock Band microphone that we would plug into our computer and record our VO.
That-
And our VO was basically, we didn't talk in the whole video because it was just a walkthrough. It was just like, hey guys, this is how you beat this boss in this game, and then the video rolls.
They were educational videos,
Yeah,
I remember.
well,
educational
It was
video.
so our boss didn't understand copyright law.
Nope.
So There's a rule.
didn't
There's a
want
rule
to.
in copyright law that you're allowed to use copyrighted materials if it's for education. So he thought that meant that he could make money off of it still, as long as he stated that it was for education. But in reality, if you're making money off of it, it doesn't matter what it is. You're still breaking copyright law by doing it.
All right, well, that's been SGA Live. I know it was short, but we have stuff to do. We're gonna have to please understand. You can keep playing, I don't care. I would give shout outs, but my chat's not loading. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to, unless this chat loads, I'm gonna try to remember. Oh, nope, it loaded. So thanks for watching. Remember the SGA challenge is happening. That is due on the 21st, right? Any fighting game, any damn fighting, all you gotta do is freaking show up. Like and do the damn thing, really. I want to come up with more complicated ways to say it, but I mean it's so damn simple. So shout out to Kenny Landry, Diana Jennings, Alana Golden, Megan, Daisy1515, Michaela New, Anna Cyan, Shut Up Productions, B Mini, Tia Laguerre, Kathleen Adkins, Erin Parr, Smosh Games Alliance. They typed after each other. Mo the Awesome Knight, Kayla Ford, Pizza Ninja, Ariana Renee, Josephine Viviano, Kevin Torres, Squirrel Horse, Gotten Jr., Xander Brooks, Emily Sinclair, Cameron Tillery, Bobby Rob, Adam Foster, Victor R2. I'm losing the names again. Smile, the Measure Man, Noxus Karn. Thank you all for watching Reject Studios, The Dark Snake 01, Kirby 9412. Thank you all for watching Kyla Lamar, Kendrick Lamar's sister. Thank you, Worst Friends Play. Of course, thank you all for watching. We had a really quick, deep talk, and if it got any deeper,
put her butt to sleeper.
Put her butt to sleeper. Go see Compton, right?
Oh, I heard
sponsor.
it's amazing.
Well, you know what's amazing is Man from U.N.C.L.E. See that as well.
Okay, go see Compton and the Man
Killing
from
the
U.N.C.L.E.
cars.
But if you're gonna go see Man of Uncle, invite your
Man-
friends.
Man-
I didn't know you wanted to go.
Thanks for watching.
Well, that was a little hectic and different. We had a bunch of people showing up, but it was a lot of fun, and we're glad you guys were able to be here and watch it and enjoy it with us. If you want to see us come together again, we actually did a little lunchtime video, so click here to watch that. Also, you are not going to want to miss the Smosh University 111. We're talking about game capture. A lot of you have been asking how to do it. We answer those questions now.